This scholarship will pay for your full tuition, your living expenses, and provide allowances for your visa and travel costs. But before we get into it, if you've not subscribed, please subscribe, like, and share to help support my channel. Let's get started. Today we are at the Cambridge University, and this is the Rowan Williams Cambridge Studentship. It says the Rowan Williams Cambridge Studentship is a program established by the Cambridge Trust to support students who face severe barriers in coming to study in Cambridge. It is available to applicants at all levels in any subject and is tenable at any college. Applicants should be from an area of instability or zone of conflict, have been at risk of discrimination, persecution, suffering, violence, or other abuse of their human right. Now let's go down here and read what it says. It says it is up to the applicant to determine if they feel they meet this criteria, which means it is up to you to explain your situation. It's up to you to convince them that you are in that position and so you are eligible to apply for the scholarship. Now let's go up here and then check the value. It says the first thing is university tuition fee. So this scholarship covers your tuition fee. It covers an annual stipend for a single person, and then other allowances, that is your travel, visa, and immigration health surcharge costs, considered on a need basis. So if you think that you can't afford it and then you let them know, they are going to cover all this. Now let's scroll down and check how to apply for this program. It says to ensure that they are considered for this scholarship, applicants must follow both of the following steps. 1. Apply for admission, postgraduate or undergraduate. Now, please note this program is for postgraduate and undergraduate, but unfortunately, the undergraduate program application has already passed. The deadline has already passed, so you can't apply. So right now, we are talking about postgraduate application. So he says apply for admission to the University of Cambridge by the funding deadline specific to their course. And then the second one is complete a separate Rowan Williams application form by 31st January 2025. Before we get to how to apply for the program, let's check the application and see what it entails. So we are going to click this. Okay, so this is the scholarship application form, and then it says applicant's details. So it needs your details, then it needs your personal statement. It says please describe the reasons why you are applying for the scholarship according to the following eligibility criteria. The first one is you are from an area of instability or zone of conflict, and then you are or have been at risk of discrimination, persecution, suffering, violence, or other abuse of your human right. So this is where you have to convince them or let them know that you are in that position and so you are eligible to apply for the scholarship. Now let's go down and see the other one. It says please describe the severity of the challenges you have faced in assessing and pursuing further education. So you have to explain to them the challenges you've been through in accessing or pursuing further education here. Now let's go down, and then your financial details. You are going to explain that. You're going to explain if you've had any scholarships, your personal fund or any other source of funding that you have, and then you're going to sign a declaration, and then you are done with the application. So this form is for applying for the scholarship. Now let's go back and see how we are going to apply to the program. Okay, so we are going to click on applying for postgraduate funding. So here they are just explaining to you the steps you have to go through in applying for a program. And the first one is find your course and college. You are going to do that in a minute. Then we have find your scholarship. So we already have the Rowan Williams scholarship. And then the third one is submit your application for admission. Now this is where you're going to concentrate on. It says if you wish to be considered for a scholarship from the trust, you must complete the funding section of the online admission application form via the application portal expressing your wish to be considered for funding. Now, when you are filling your application for the program, there is a section for funding. So when you are filling it, you have to express your wish to be considered. So you have to let them know that you want to be considered for funding on your application for the program. It says this must be submitted by the funding deadline specific to your course. There are 2 general course funding deadlines for courses starting in 2025-2026 academic year. And we have Tuesday, 3rd December 2024 and Tuesday, 7th January 2024. We have 2 deadlines for funding. Remember, there is a deadline for applying to a program. That's the program deadline. And then we have the funding deadline. The deadline for applying to this scholarship is the 31st of January 2025. But the deadline for funding for each program is different. It's different from the 31st. So you have to check the funding deadline and not the program's deadline. So you are going to check that one in a minute so that you get what I am talking about. So let's go up and check the programs and how to apply for. So it says postgraduate course directory. So we are going to click on this. Okay, so we are going to click on doctoral and masters, and then we are going to hide closed courses so that we can filter them out. Okay, now there are several courses here that you can apply to. So whatever field you are in, you can just go through it and then you do your application. There are so many programs here. So let's click on one of the programs and then see the deadline and the funding deadlines you're talking about. So let's click on this, veterinary medicine by thesis. Okay, so when you click on the program, you're going to come to the right side and it says that applications open on September 4, 2024, and the application deadline for this program is May 16, 2025. So the deadline is May 16th, and this is for the program. Now let's go down here and it says funding deadline. The funding deadline is January 7th, 2025. So if you're applying to the program and then you don't want funding, you can apply. Your deadline is the May. But if you are applying and you want to be considered for funding, it means you have to apply before January 7th, 2025. I hope this is clear so that you don't wait till May before you do your application. Now let's go back and check other programs too. Remember, they said there are 2 deadlines. That's the 3rd of December 2024 and then the 7th of January 2025. So I'm going to look for a program which has the deadline passed so that you know what I'm talking about. So let's click on this program and see if the deadline is still open or closed. Okay, so let's go down and check. So this program, the deadline for the program application is May 15th, but the funding deadline, let's check, is okay, this one is still open. Let's go back and find a different program. Okay, let's click on this and check the deadline for this program. Funding deadline is that's December 3rd. It means that the deadline for funding is closed on this particular program, but the application is still opened for this program. It says the application deadline is February 4th, 2024. So this is what I'm talking about. Some of the programs have their funding deadline closed and then some are open. So you have to go through it and make sure that the deadline for your program is opened before you can apply. The funding deadline, I mean, so that you can apply. So let's click on this and see how we can apply to programs in the University of Cambridge. So this is the overview of the programs. You're going to click requirements. Okay. Now this is the language requirement for this program. Each program has its own language requirements. You're going to get to that in a minute. So here it says, if your degree is not from the UK, please check international qualification. So let's click on this. Okay, let's open this and click on English language requirements. It says applicants need to be proficient in using English in an academic setting. You may need to submit evidence that you meet our English language requirements. For most courses, you do not need to provide evidence until we make you an offer. We will let you know what is required. So for most of the courses, you don't have to submit an English language certificate until you have received an offer from the school. Now it says, do I need to take a test? You do not usually need to submit an English language test if you are a national of a majority English-speaking country and were educated in such a country. This is what they mean when they mention English-speaking country. That's majority English-speaking country. These are the countries they are talking about. So if your country is not here, you are not part of the majority English-speaking countries. Now let's go down. It says accepted language test. So these are the tests that they accept for application, and it says there can often be long waiting times for language tests. You should usually make arrangement to take a test as soon as possible after you get an offer. So this is a good thing. You don't have to take your test until you've received the offer from the school. Then you know that you are good, like you have the admission, so you can just take your English test. Now let's go back and see how to apply for the program. Okay, so let's start reading from here. It says an application is only complete when you have submitted your application and supporting documents via the applicant portal. 2, you have paid the application fee if applicable. And then it says that for further information, application fee and which courses require application fee, see here. So let's click on this. Okay, let's go down. It says you may need to pay a £50 application fee for each postgraduate course you apply to. And then it says find out if your course has an application fee and how payment works. Now, courses with no application fee, these courses do not come with application fee. It says there is no application fee for doctoral programs. These include Doctor of Philosophy, Business, Education, Medicine, Veterinary Medicine, and then combined Master of Research and Doctor of Philosophy programs. There is no application fee for these, but there is an application fee for all other postgraduate courses at Cambridge. Now, when you come down here, it says your payment is subject to a 14-day cancellation period. During that time, you can get a full refund. So after you've applied and then you think you don't want to do an application again, you don't want to apply to the program again, and you want a refund, you have 14 days to ask for a refund. After 14 days, you can't ask for a refund. So that's what they are saying here. Now let's go down and check the application fee waivers. It says some applicants do not have to pay the application fee. Find out if you're eligible. So let's click on this and see if we are eligible for the application fee waiver. Okay, it says automatic application fee waiver. Eligible applicants. You do not need to pay an application fee or complete a waiver form if you are a national from our list of eligible countries. So let's go down and look at the list of eligible countries so that we know if we are eligible for application fee waiver. There are lots of countries here. We have Afghanistan, Angola, Bangladesh. Unfortunately, Ghana is not here, but there are lots of countries here. So if you are from any of these countries, it means you can apply without paying any application fee. So go through it and make sure that your country is here before you can start your application. Now let's go back to the application page. Okay, so let's go through the documents you will need to apply to this program. It says that in order to apply for this course, you will need to think about getting a few things ready before you apply. 2 academic references, transcript, CV, evidence of competence in English if required, statement of interest, 1,500 characters, and this is mandatory. And it says that please describe your specific areas of academic interest, how the MPhil in biotechnology matches your interest, and how your past education and other experiences will help you succeed in the program. Then the next one is reasons for applying. That is also 1,500 characters and it's also mandatory. It says please describe your reasons for applying for the MPhil in biotechnology and the University of Cambridge, as well as your aspirations and how the program will help you to achieve your career goals. Now after you are done with all this, let's go up here and then start our application. You can just come here if you think you want to start your application and click apply now. Okay, so it says register. If you do not have an applicant portal account, click here to register. So let's click here. So you are going to enter your email and then create your password to be able to get an account in applicant portal, and you can start your application. So this is how you apply for a program in the University of Cambridge, and then the scholarship, that's the Rowan Williams Scholarship. I hope this has been helpful, and if it has, please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, comment, and help support my channel. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Bye.